In this video, I will show you how to adjust your scope and red dot to your rifle and how to zero it in. Now, don't worry if you don't see exactly your setup. The procedure is exactly the same, whether you are using a red dot or a scope, LPVO, sniper rifle, AEG, pistol with the red dot, it all works exactly the same. Now, before we start putting red dots or scopes on it, make sure that your hop-up trajectory is set nice and straight. For that, watch the videos about hop-up specifically. Once that is done, let's start with the red dot or scopes. In my case, we are in the studio, we have limited range, so I'm gonna be using camera that is mounted on the gun to show you, and we will also use a little bit of editing magic to illustrate the point, because this is actually quite hard to show with limited space when you need to record. But don't worry, everything will be pretty clear at the end of the video. Now, in your case, you should get as much range as you can with no wind and in a safe area. That might be on an airsoft field or just somewhere where there is no people and you can shoot safely. Also, don't forget, we'll be shooting, so let's just use proper eye protection. All right, with that out of the way, let's get started by putting a scope or a red dot on your replica. Now, place it where you want it to be, and I would consider Loctiting with a weak Loctite the screws, because optics should not move and they should stay on the gun so you don't lose zero. If you don't plan on switching, I would recommend weak Loctite screw glue. There we go. Let's turn on the camera so we can actually show you what we are doing, and I also made this little cue drawing so I can explain the points a little bit better. The camera is recording, red dot is turned on, so let's see where we are. There we go. Shooting on a black background makes it way easier to see the BB, and as you just saw in the overlay, our BB is actually impacting right here compared to the red dot, so we are low left. How do we adjust to that? Most of the scopes and red dots on the market, remember, you are adjusting the BB to the red dot. You are not moving the red dot, you are moving the BB. This is the case for most of the optics and red dots. If it's the other way around, it is possible, I've seen that happen, but generally start with this, moving the BB. All right, how does that help us when we are actually turning some knobs? If we look at the red dot, here we see an arrow and up. If we move it in this direction, we will move the BB up. The same goes for the side adjustment. Here we have an arrow again, and we have R, which stands for right. So if I turn in the direction of the arrow, the BB will move right. If we look at a scope, let's say this LPVO, it is exactly the same. We have arrow up, arrow down, we have arrows right and left, again moving the BB, not the crosshair or the red dot. What we need to do in our case, we are low left. We need to go up and right. So I'm gonna turn up, and I'm gonna be quite generous. It's always easier to go too much and then dial it down than, constantly small adjustments. You don't even see the difference. Don't be afraid of moving it. It's airsoft, it's not a precision rifle, so we can do that. And we go right on the side adjustment. So 2 turns, and now let's see where we are. And as you just saw, we overdid it a little bit, which is okay. That gives me the opportunity to show you the other direction. So we are somewhere here. That's where the BBs are impacting right now. So by now, you should know what we are supposed to do. We need to go down and left. So I'm gonna do exactly the opposite, but I'm just gonna do half of the adjustment. So we go down and left. All right, let's double check what this got us. And now it's exactly on the red dot as it should be. In your case, when you're adjusting, Take the time, do it proper, make sure that it's exactly on point so you don't have troubles hitting your targets. That's pretty much it. It's a very simple process that's pretty clear once you realize that you are moving the BB, not the red dot or crosshair itself.